what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour.
Yes, hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to episode 127. Brian, how you going?
My beer's not as cold as I wanted it to be.
Oh, so you're not doing that great.
Other than that, I can't complain.
Good start. But speaking of good things, want to give a big shout out to our guest from last week, the one and only G to the Next Level. Thank you so much.
Yeah, truly appreciate you coming on, bud. And if you haven't already, please make sure at least follow his Twitch, if not all the links, because he's on there a lot, and he's very entertaining to watch, especially he has some streams with his wife, but he's killing it over there. So go give him some love.
Yep, for sure.
So, Chambers, is there anything worse than when you do buy a pack of beer and you get it hours and hours earlier and you think it's going to be cold, and then when you go to grab it, it's like that teasing cold where the can feels cold and then you pour it and you're like, this isn't really that cold.
You're doing it out of a bottle, aren't you?
No.
Really? With the can?
Sly Fox Pikeland Pills. Wait, oh no, who does Prima Pills? Oh, that's Victory.
Yes.
Pikeland Pills. I don't know if I've ever had this one before. I got a variety pack of Sly Fox. I was like, oh, there's a few I haven't actually tried from them. And I don't know, I got the beers at 5:36 maybe. Just not that cold, Jim. Not that cold.
Brian, sounds like you might need a new beer fridge replacement.
Nah, my beer fridge is good. I think the problem is I left it all in the box and I didn't take them out. Which, by the way,
Definitely doesn't help.
you seem like the type of asshole who would take them out.
I do.
Of course you do. You son of a bitch.
Why wouldn't I? It could be taken out eventually anyway.
Yeah, but why don't you just leave the box in there? And see, I somehow I knew with you that would be something you would spend the extra 10 minutes doing.
See, you have two full fridges. I do not. So I got a little mini fridge and you got
That's
a full
true.
fridge.
Yeah, that's true. All
So
right,
if I had a
touche.
full one, maybe I'd lazy out. But no, I would lazy out with the full fridge.
When you buy your shitty Keystone, do you just put the whole box in there?
Oh,
If it fits?
No, I mean, they stay... No, I mean, if I know people are coming over and I'm bringing out the Keystone, I'll, put half of it in the fridge and then keep the other half in the box.
Why, you gotta save it for yourself?
Well, they give me 36 for $18, Brian, so... I don't think I'm going to be going through that many in that time, but, things happen.
Good old 50 centers. All right, so then what are you enjoying tonight?
Well, Brian, I am drinking from the Moonraker Brewing Company, the Sling Jaws Imperial Pale Ale. So, 8.5% alcohol out of Auburn, California. And no other talky talk on it, but yeah, some Megalodon teeth right there with a hop in the middle.
Okay. That's more
Great
effort than
label.
I feel like a lot of your labels have been recently.
Yeah, I mean, it's really detailed, the drawing of it. Black and white coloring, but gets the job done.
What percentage did you say?
8.5.
Yeah, see, my pills is 4.9, which that's always nice. Sometimes when I did the last two Twitch streams, I had some hefty boys at the beginning, some 10%ers.
Going light tonight, aren't you, Cuck?
I don't know what all of them are, but yeah, lighter than that.
Oh, well, there you go. But yeah, I mean, that's a good way to start a stream is to get yourself plastered right away. So, good on you, Brian.
Jim, I can't wait till you and I do some streams together and you're super sloppy after 5 minutes.
I can't wait for that either. That'll be enjoyable.
But then your gameplay will be atrocious.
Gameplay's going to be bad no matter what. So, at least, maybe if I'm more relaxed, I won't care as much and I'll do better.
So, speaking of gameplay, have you been able to dive into anything recently? How are you making on Shaolin Monks?
I haven't touched that in a little bit. I'll get back to it. But no, what do you call it? It was a busy week. The old wife is away for the weekend, so while working on, I spent my nights working on the Roniu's Tale that I just released today. That Let's Play. So cool little puzzle game.
Check out the video, people, but don't check it out because of the thumbnail, you motherfucker.
That thumbnail is not bad.
Did you do it just to piss me off, or did you legit think that's a good idea?
A little bit of both, but what do you call it? The original picture I was using had the cartridge in hand with me looking at it, and what do you call it? Using our app we use for thumbnails, it kept cropping that out as background. So I was like, how do I salvage this? So I just kind of like blew myself up, hid the hand, all that kind of, all that trickery. Look, Bri, it's not as bad as your Instagram, all right?
Jim,
Sophie, with the face, Tim,
you
with the pouty lips.
You realize Instagram is for that, right? You realize YouTube, you don't have to be like every dickhead.
Well, Bri, as a man, you don't have to do that either. Not to be like, my pretty face. Oh, look at my haircut.
But Jim, I mean, enough people actually like seeing my haircut. I'm sorry.
No one likes seeing your haircut, Brian. We just like that the man bun went away.
Jim, do you want me to pull up the likes, see who likes a man bun, who likes the hair? Exactly. Listen, you can go on liking all the whatever crowd that it is you like, and I'll have people like my stuff.
I don't even post on my personal, so shit, I don't even give a shit
No,
about that.
I know. I can't blame you, Jim. Because you save your goddamn selfies for your goddamn YouTube.
Look, Bri, I gotta send it to the masses, alright? That's where it's needed.
So yeah, check out Jim's little goddamn video. But yeah, the game, I watched your gameplay footage. I don't know if that's one I'd probably be that into.
You're not a puzzle kind of guy for on consoles. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, it's not that it looks bad. It just, yeah, that's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, no, I was shocked by how much I liked it. So, like I said, I was a little biased there, but, you know. Good little game, so check it out. Check out the Kickstarter. But yeah, besides that, not too much. What do you call it? Like, casually, I broke in a little bit into that Cotton reboot that came out on the Switch. So, was playing that a bit.
The what?
Fantastic Night Dreams Cotton. It's an old, what do you call it, witch-based, like, shoot-'em-up. And they had a reboot come out, so I went for that. So it comes with the X68000 port as well as a brand new reboot port. So, good little package. Cute 'em up, Bri. Cute 'em.
That's probably not a game you played as a child, Jim.
No, of course it isn't. It's one I always wanted to play, though.
Why?
And because every time I saw gameplay footage, I was like, that looks fun. I want to play it.
At this point, is there any shoot 'em up that you've looked at that you said, I don't want to play?
If one looks like really bland, I go, I don't really care about this. But like, there's billions of, you know what shoot 'em ups I don't like. I don't like the ones generally that like, whenever you kill anything, it bursts into like 10,000 like coins or crystals and shit like that, and fills up the entire screen and comes flooding to you. Because then like I just can't see anything in general. So I don't know how people like. I have a couple of them, and some of them are okay, but yeah, just in general, I don't like to look at them, and I just like stay away from those.
It's interesting. In your old age, you've gotten angrier, but it seems like you're really going towards styles of games that are overly cutesy. Or like almost more anime, almost more of that Japanese style. Like, I've noticed games you've started to talk about more, and if you look at the ones you've reviewed solo, that seems to be where you're leading towards. Like, that style. Like, so clearly something there is drawing you in. Because I'm thinking about all the games you do. Like, you're almost exclusively going in that direction.
I mean, I haven't been playing any, like, straight-up anime games. But, I mean, they're just more, I don't know, Japanese style. They're coming straight from Japan, though.
I don't even want to imagine what your internet searches have been, Jim.
Actually, they're a lot tamer than they were when I was in my early 20s. You want to see some Japanese animation, that's when you would have seen that shit.
Oh, Jim. Oh, finding that folder was...
Had a face.
Still horrifying.
Hey.
Nice.
But yeah, and besides that, I took part in Retro Game Brews' Mario Kart 8 tournament for charity on Friday night. So, first time I broke into Mario Kart 8 in a long-ass time. But it was a good time. He raised $1,500, so...
That's awesome, yeah.
All went to cancer research, so it was a good success. So, good on him. At his best, like, he... Like, the one guy he set up with, they actually got onto the front page of Twitch. So, at their most, they were at, like, 300 viewers. So, it was pretty cool.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah.
So, yeah, I made it out of the first round before shitting my pants in the second round. So, at least I had that little bit of glory.
Oh, Chambers. Yeah, I've been diving a wee bit into some Alien 3. I'll just save my opinions, but...
Which one? Because they're all kind of different.
Yeah, so I started with the Genesis one.
Okay.
Or, no, I'm sorry. I started with the NES one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. It's, yeah. We'll get to that, but, I played... when I say dive, I mean, if I spent an hour on it, that would be generous.
Right.
I beat, which I was shocked, I was able to beat Amnesia, The Dark Descent, because other than like when it was the game that seemed like everyone was streaming back in the day, I never touched it, I never played it, but they had the collection. I don't know if it's on Game Pass for free or I got it for free through Gold. I know it's one of those free games I have. So I was like, you know what? It's time. I love horror games. I need to, play it. It's an interesting game. It's one of those, and it's funny because they tell you at the beginning, don't try to win it. Try to immerse yourself into the world. Da-da-da-da. Like, take your time, explore. Don't focus so much on just completing it. And it is good advice. The monsters are definitely creepy. The music, dude, I will say, it's very rare I find horror games where I go, oh, the music's good. The music was actually excellent in this game.
Oh, wow.
But it's one of those games, and other than the little bit you watched, Jim, have you ever seen anything about that? Like, do you know anything about that game?
I know of it, but barely anything, really.
So, it's curious, because I know I've asked you before. I know you like a lot of other horror games, but first-person horror games, do they do it for you at all, or are you just not that into them? Like,
it's not that I'm not into them or not interested. I just never got around to it for the most part.
Yeah, it is a really well done game. It's certainly not perfect, but no, it was a great time and like a great turnout. Thank you everyone who stopped by. But really, it's been that. Did a little Dead by Daylight with Eric, who now I've gotten completely obsessed with that game now. So, been converting him, and yeah, it's been pretty slow. Other than that, so I'm hoping to get a little bit more gaming in this week.
Oh, but, yeah, cool. Yeah, you've definitely been, you were going hard on Amnesia for like the 2 weeks that you were into it, so, or before you beat it, I guess. So, no, that's cool, though.
Yeah, it's like I said, are you an easily jump scared guy?
It depends.
Like, I remember when I had you try, what was it, Slender or Five Nights at Freddy's?
Oh, yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. It got me, so. I don't think I ever really played Slender, so. Oh,
okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I knew it was one of them I got you to try.
But yeah, I'd be playing fucking Freddy's, my face would be like right here, then all of a sudden, ah!
And then Jimmy made a boom boom.
And I go, yeah. I mean, the boom boom was coming regardless, but.
Damn it. So yeah, it's been interesting, Jim. But Han, before we get into Patreon, we don't have it on here. But were you full geeked out, or I couldn't tell if it was just online fake geek out, or were you truly excited with this whole CM Punk thing?
Oh, no, it's cool to see him back. I actually, booted up AEW on Hulu for the first time in like a year and a half. Like, I watched AEW like pretty hard for like the first 2 to 3 months, and then I like missed a couple weeks because of band practice, and then I was like, whatever. I'll get back to it whenever. So this is the first time I really turned it on in a long time. So no, it'll give me a reason to watch it. Like I'm down to watch him.
Is this though a case like should he have come back? How old is he?
Early 40s.
Is he like? I mean, I felt like he was in kind of rough shape leaving WWE, and then he had his horrendous stint in UFC.
He was really injured at the end of WWE. Like he was injured and sick. Like he had a staph infection. He had multiple injuries, and like he is straight edge, so like he doesn't take painkillers and crap like that. So. Someone posted a picture where it's like his last day in WWE and his first day in AEW, and it's like a world of difference. Like he looked run the fuck down. So
that's what I mean. Like, yeah, he just didn't look good, and even physically, I think when he prepared for UFC, he didn't look good there either. So
I mean, he's never been like an Adonis or anything like that, or like chiseled or shit like that.
Yeah, he's not. I wouldn't consider him a high tier athlete, but you know. I know you really you were geeking out for him for like that 1 year, so I was curious if. Oh
no, he's the one who got me back into wrestling back in 2011. So, yeah, no, I mean, no, I was always a big Punk fan, so it's cool to see him back. I want to I'll tune in to see what he does. Like, I'm not I've tried to watch Kenny Omega matches and I just get bored by them. Like, I don't like the Young Bucks. Like Moxley, I like Moxley. Like Jericho's old and fat now, but he can still cut a good promo. So, like I don't know. Like AEW is weird, and I'm also just I want my pro wrestlers to look like they can beat me up, and like no, federation outside of a couple guys like has anyone who looks like that. So like,
you know what? That's points to because I got kind of, and I say kind of very lightly. back into wrestling in that same time period where you were like 2013
when the network first came out, you were like,
yeah.
yeah.
I was kind of like, okay, and like Brock was back doing it, like, so I was like, okay, I'm kind of, I was a big Dolph Ziggler fan, and they fucked him, so that pissed me off because I looked at him as like the Mr. Perfect of that generation.
Yep.
And that was people like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. I like kind of blame for that whole era, the what do they call it, the reality era.
It's all under the PG era.
Yeah, but it's like where that was my problem. Every wrestler, I was like, these look like guys they picked up at a bar, and we're like, can you guys do wrestling like the backyard wrestlers? I was like, these don't look like dudes that spend their life in a gym perfecting their craft and doing all the steroids they can to get veins. Like, that's what you want to see. Like, you want to see cartoon characters wrestling. And yeah, if I see a guy that I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could kick his ass, that's going to really bother me. So
yeah, like it turned into like wrestling being nothing but like ex-football players and just like big like surly drunks, or just guys who are just big in general, into like all the people who grew up fans of it, and they were just like marks from the start. So
yeah, it'd be like watching the NBA and everyone's at like 6'1", 6'2". It'd be like, that's not fun.
Yeah,
that
is true. So yeah, no, I mean, yeah, so I've definitely been like, the last couple of years I've watched barely any wrestling for the most part. But, yeah, no, I mean, with him back, I've always been a fan. So, at the very worst, he'll cut a better promo than anyone in the fucking place. So, like, he's always going to be at least good for that. Like, I don't need, like, he's going to be fighting Darby Allin at the pay-per-view. Like, I'm not going to buy the pay-per-view. But, like, Darby Allin's a good guy, good first guy for him to go against, because that guy can work his ass off, even though he's like 130 pounds. But.
Yeah, well, that's what Punk would need, is someone he can kind of bully around, easily lift around. Like, yeah, you can't put him against someone too big. But
well, that's not a problem in AEW.
But yeah,
when Jack Swagger's like one of your biggest looking guys in your company, you're not in the land of giants.
Here's the thing: who's more of a dork? The people that are constantly trying to create the us versus them with AEW versus WWE, who have to, like, every one of their tweets has to be a comparison, or the now current Xbox versus PS fans.
Oh God, that's tough.
Because they're both terrible.
I think they're equally bad. They're
they're diehard. Like,
they're all diehards about my. Oh God, that is bad. Because like both sides will be like, we'll just hate on the other side for the fact of it being like the other side.
Yeah,
and shit like that.
Which I just want people, like, if you like AEW, I would prefer your tweet, your message be like, yo, this show was great. I love that they brought so-and-so. But it's always, yeah, WWE's crying now. Or like, FWW. I'm like, and the same way WWE fans will do it to AEW. I'm like,
yeah,
just enjoy your own shit. Why does it always have to be, but also F the other guy? I don't get it.
Because it's the internet.
It just, I mean, I feel like there are pockets where that doesn't happen as bad. So I saw those two things.
You're talking gaming and you're talking wrestling, so you're talking fandoms that just breed people who don't leave their house a lot. So, I mean, as a gamer and a wrestling fan myself, like, I'm exposed to all these sides, and I see it.
Well, shit, we see it too with beer. The beer snobs. Oh, you go to that brewery? All that shit.
or when the beer snob accounts start to break kayfabe and just go into general political discourse.
Oh my God!
They have 90,000 followers and they get 2 likes on every tweet. I wonder if that's what people come to you for,
dude. Oh my! Don't even get me started. I've silenced said accounts. That's all I'll say.
subtle subtext.
But yeah, so no, I had to bring that up just because it was hot and I saw you tweet. But I always get confused. I know sometimes you're tweeting because that's the hot thing out there.
Yeah.
And other times I'm like, is he really into it now? So I couldn't tell.
A little bit of both. But no, I'll definitely watch for Punk. So
yeah.
I'll see what they do. I mean, if it's boring and I don't care anymore, then I'll just, taper off again. But, it's good to see a guy who actually, like, care about in there.
Yeah. Nice. Jim, you mean you don't care about Goldberg and Brock?
I mean, Brock, I'm always fine with seeing Brock.
Yeah.
Like, even like the diehard WWE people are just like, oh, fucking stupid Brock. Well, it's like, who else are you tuning in for? Like,
yeah, yeah. And Goldberg, I didn't even realize Goldberg was still.
He came back like 3 years ago, and like
yeah,
he's had
I saw
a couple
that.
title runs, and Yeah, I don't blame Goldberg for fucking coming back for these paychecks. I would do the exact same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
But they need to stop bringing him back because, like, even at his best, it's not like he could go or even cut a promo. Like, he was just, the big badass who destroyed people.
Yeah.
But if he's old and slow and, like, he can't even pick up half the roster anymore, it's done. Just let it go.
Well,
Brock is still a freak and he can do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he can still uproot trees with his bare hands. That's fine. Brock will never not be Brock. But
Yeah.
Goldberg can stop. It's fine.
He can. Yeah. Age only works for those guys like Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, those guys that went way past their prime. And they still, even Shawn Michaels, who was my favorite, I wanted him to stop when he kept coming back. But then he ended up having some great matches with Jericho and Flair. And I was like, okay. But, there is a time I just want him to. No more.
Yeah. No, I hear you there. So, yeah, it's tough times for the business, Bri. Tough times.
It's always interesting, Jim. But now, my favorite part of these Power Hours, let's hear from our awesome patrons.
Yes, patreon.com/drinkupbeer and play a game where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question and we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. So first up, Game Whisperer Dean. Do you think the British gaming scene has more drama than the North American scene? Yes.
Do you?
Short and sweet. Yes.
But they're so less than us.
They are so less.
I mean,
intertwined.
I'm saying though,
numbers wise, I know.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
It's a very close. They're way more close and tight knit. Like, especially when they have their conventions. Like, it's almost like living in a small town where everyone knows everyone. That kind of deal.
So it's a little more heated because it's so niche.
Yeah, it's so heated because it's like more niche, and it's also like they're just very they're like America retro YouTubers are very much like anti like the whole drama scene in general, that kind of deal, and there's a couple. Oh yeah, they're very they hate drama channels, they hate drama scenes, they hate drama like anything like that. Like they're very anti that.
But I feel like they get involved.
Like anyone who tries to be a drama channel becomes like a pariah, that kind of deal. So and there's a couple of notorious ones who just like to shit on everyone, and they have their little fan bases. But the British scene is really there's just always some shit going down with the British people. Top Hat and his wife right now are trying to take one of their biggest trolls to court, which good on them because apparently they've been harassing them for years. So
I saw that. So real quick, give me the Jim version. I've read Top Hat shit, and basically they tried to keep it a secret for a while that it was his wife so she could grow her own channel, but somebody
that was never a secret that was his wife.
Well, he said that in a thing. He was a secret, that they purposely did not reveal that was his wife, but it got fan theories basically started popping up on Reddit, and they wanted her channel to grow organically and not just be, oh, I'm the wife of Top Hat.
I don't think it was ever that she wasn't his wife. I think it was just he wasn't involved on her page.
Who is she again?
Lady Decade.
That's her. Okay, that's who I thought. But yeah, no. And then I saw there's nothing that drives me more crazy, and I kind of get why they do it. But when someone's like, unfortunately, we now have to take this thing to court, but they're very vague because they can't talk about it. But that's the same way as chicks on Facebook who used to write oh, pray for me today. You're like, well, what happened? What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I mean, they weren't vague like that. They would put you through the whole thing of someone's been harassing us using multiple accounts, a couple different accounts who've been doxing us and constantly harassing us and shit like that. So I'm not even including that. That's drama, but it's not in the same vein of dumb YouTube drama. That's real life drama shit. Yeah. So you got that end, but then you have some relatively big accounts who always complain about because I'm a guy with big numbers, everyone tries to harass me or come after me when it's dude, stop. Or the people who try to just they're always egging on arguments for whatever their agenda is on there. So I don't know, they're very outspoken people. I'll give them that. So, and when you're very outspoken people, you tend to get in little tit for tats with each other. So
I guess it makes whether it's good content, it makes probably a lot more eyeballs on it.
Yeah, it's good for eyeballs. I mean, that's anyone can say what they want to do and be oh, I'm just here for the games, man. No, shut the fuck up. We're all here for attention. If you make any kind of content, You want your attention. You want eyes on you at the very least.
Yeah.
So, like,
nobody does it because you don't want somebody to see it.
yeah, exactly. So,
all right. Well, I'll go with Jim's answer because I don't know enough, so I'm going to trust that he knows that. The UK scene's a little crazy.
at least what I see from the Twitter end, like, if you're likely to see some like random back and forth and go down a rabbit hole of like some threads and subtweeting, it's the British people a lot. So, good one, Dean. Next up from G to the next level, and obviously not throwing shade at Top Hat and Decade. Like I said, like, we understand why they're doing what they're doing with the people coming after them. So, but yeah, next up from G to the next level. With the exception of Nintendo and Sony library of portables, what would you say is your favorite portable game console, or one that is overlooked?
With the exception of Sony and
Narrows it down.
iPhone games. I don't know. Like,
That's actually not a bad answer, because iPhone games get shit on a lot.
yeah, which I don't get why. I mean, they're completely. There are some ones that, I mean, Jim's been playing the same goddamn one for 7 years now, whatever it's been.
5-6 years. My Clash of Clans addiction.
Yeah, and they're usually going to be free, minus maybe some annoying ads. Because honestly, there's no collection, Jim or I think we could really throw out there. I mean, any Sega portable we've discussed in the past.
We're just going to have to say Game Gear at that point? Like,
Yeah.
I guess there's Neo Geo Pocket Color in the Pocket, but, like, I have no experience with them. There's the Wonder Swan, but, again, I have no experience with it.
I'm sticking with my answer, Jim. iPhone.
Yeah, no, iPhone's actually a pretty damn solid answer.
And soon to be Steam Deck, which will steamroll over everything, right?
No, I'm sure. I'm so sure.
The critics will have you believing, Jim.
Now, what the fuck's that new handheld that's coming out with the little crank on the side? The game something or other? I forgot what it's called.
God damn it. I don't
It's
even...
yellow. It's like little homebrew games, that kind of shit. Yeah, I'll go with the little one with the crank.
Damn
There
it.
we
You always go with the crank.
go. Oh, gotta crank something.
Damn it.
Next up, from Burn Retinas. What's likely to happen first? Nintendo officially defeating ROM sites or giving consumers a robust cloud-based access to their retro libraries? Harumph.
Huh.
That is a toughie. Ooh. Because you kill one ROM site, another site's going to come up.
That's what I was going to say. They'll never defeat... Like, they'll bring down... What's maybe the biggest ROM site? Cool ROMs?
There's Cool ROMs. There's MU Paradise, which like
Yeah.
they kind of took down, but I think you can still get ROMs off there. So
I mean...
it wasn't like they fully killed it.
It's going to be so tough for them.
People discover torrenting again, maybe.
Which, I don't even... Yeah, I haven't... Man, whew, that's been about 4 PCs ago. The last torrent I've gotten.
I still have an old laptop from 2010 that I use for torrenting here and there, just
Oh.
because like that thing's already junk. So if I'm
Why
going to
not?
put some viruses on it, might as well just put it on that one.
I
That's
mean-
my advice for tonight. Everyone keep an old computer around for pirating.
My guess is I would have to go cloud-based, but that'll be because there will come a point, be it a Steam, be it something comes along that makes it so undeniable that they have to change their goddamn model. They'll finally break down. But don't get me wrong, they'll recharge you for every game they've ever created at the face value price with no discount because they don't believe in that shit. But they'll eventually break down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a robust robust library, just because Father Time will eventually kill enough executives that someone will eventually be like, all right, let's fix our internet a little bit.
Yeah. Oh,
It'll probably take another 20, 30 years before it happens, but eventually someone will do it. Whereas with ROM sites and piracy and all that stuff like that, or preservation,
it is about preservation, Jim.
you kill one, 3 others will come up in its place. So there's no getting rid of it.
Jim, I have to commend you. There was one moment of your tweet I was kind of proud of where even you couldn't defend the latest Super NES releases.
Oh, fuck, I don't even remember what the games were, but yeah, it was like the Clay Fighters spin-off and like 2 other junk titles, and
Yeah.
even I was like, all right, even I can say this is dog shit.
Yeah. So, it's... Yeah.
Even I have my limits, Bri. You have to dig deep to find something I can't call a gem, and even I can fucking find my limits.
Jim's that guy you've been pointing. I'm telling you, this is shit. No, dude. No, dude. Okay, it's shit.
I'm not saying they weren't great choices. I'm just saying you're paying less than $2 a month, and you get a half-decent game out of it. Fine. But this time, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a great question. But, yeah, ROM sites will never, ever be truly defeated. I don't care what they do.
Shit. And they shouldn't be. And there's enough people like us with old hard drives full of ROMs we downloaded in 2009 in mass.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think.
And actually, with all the with all the devices out there now, like there's so many fucking devices where you can just rip ROMs off of games and shit like that. Like
so
you can
easy.
just do it yourself. Like people with collections are doing it for themselves. So like these ROMs, we might have more access to ROMs than we ever had before going forward. So.
And like I said, call it what you want. When Napster and LimeWire and then all the torrent sites existed, that's why music industry and the model for how you listen to music is what it is today. The fucking ROMs caused a lot of things with cloud-based gaming, with all these re-releases of mini systems. They're not perfect, but that would have never happened had they not figured out, oh, maybe there is a way we can make money. Like, the smartest shit they could do is send a crazy price, do the NES Mini, like the style they did the original one, and do full library, make it like $600, or whatever price you want, and they will still sell like complete hotcakes. I guarantee it.
Yeah, or just do a straight fucking streaming service. Do what all the music companies
did.
Yeah,
oh, that's a great idea too.
That's the only way they defeated fucking Napster and shit like that and piracy was people realized it was easier to just click on a streaming site and give them $3 a month for no ads than to fucking worry about trying to sue everyone who was downloading music.
Yeah,
and that's how they defeated that. That's why kids today don't know what piracy is.
Yeah, so I really think that would be that's a great idea too. And I would love that with all of your old systems. Fucking make it streaming. Do it like how there's a friggin' million streaming sites for movies. Do it for your video games.
Might be a topic down the line this episode.
Maybe.
Foreshadowing? For skin shadowing?
Damn it!
Next up from Gamer Astral. If money wasn't in... What?
Jim, I cleaned my
I cleaned my dick. Do we explain the story of that? Or do we just let the people wanting more?
We can let them wonder.
Tune in next time. From Gamer Astral. If money wasn't an issue, what system would you start collecting for? Neo Geo. If I don't have to worry about money, I'm going to go for the fucking most expensive one.
Would you do that, or would you pick a system you already have and just complete the entire collection?
Yeah. See, I don't know. Because, like, I'm not a completionist when it comes to my collections.
But if money's no issue, I assume...
if money's no issue, I'm going to complete every collection of everything I have. I'm going to buy everything.
So you're saying if money is no issue, brand new system and full collection, you're going Neo Geo.
I would say Neo Geo, yeah. Like,
that's good.
Even though, like, the Saturn's probably, like, the biggest hole in my collecting, I would still probably go Neo Geo before that. Just because $1. Get my dollar value.
I'm going to say the PS5 and all future titles. So that way I'm locked for the future.
No, there's some future proofing for you. All right.
Yep.
All right, solid strategy there.
I'm breaking the system, Jim.
Damn it. And last up from Alex Perez. What are some of your most memorable stories of gaming rage throughout your video game playing years? Jesus.
I assume he means like personal rage, right?
Well, yeah, it's got to be that. I mean, maybe making people mad. You can include that too, I guess. But
there's so many.
I sing the praises of the original Sega Genesis because my one growing up fell on a tile floor so many times.
You threw the whole system?
No, I didn't throw the system.
Oh.
I would pull it off the fucking walls. I'm like raging with my goddamn controller, and it would fall on the ground and go, fuck, and it always booted back up. So those machines are tanks. The controllers, I was not so lucky. That's why I grew up with a plethora of third-party controllers that were like this fucking big, and why the N64 controller has never bothered me. So, there's that. There's fucking playing Call of Duty with coworkers the first time, and them just hearing the torrent of verbal diarrhea and cursing coming out of my mouth, and them going, "Holy crap! You're a fucking spurg. What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'll just throw generic Call of Duty when Juan was living with me, and we would be in my basement and my parents would be 2 levels above us in their floor, and 2 in the morning they could hear us yelling, and we didn't realize how loud we were yelling. They'd be like,
Right.
"You're fucking like, shut the fuck up! Like, stop yelling. We can hear you up here." And my favorite would be my wife or my mom or someone like emulating what I was saying. I'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna lay down like a little bitch? Is that what you're gonna do? You little cocksucker!" Like, and they're like, why do you stream together curse words in this way? And they would like recreate what I'm saying, and I'm like, did I really say
fucking
that?
shit, fucking son of a bitch, God fucking. Yep.
And I'm like, oh yeah, like I kind of get lost in it, and it's not something you truly don't think while you're playing. So stuff like Jim said just comes out, and sometimes it's not something you would normally hear. But yeah, the rage of, oh man, the rage of getting killed or something, and whew, I don't miss those yelling. And yeah, the breaking.
Look, Fry. Sometimes you have to call someone a shit dick and cunt fart. All right. Sometimes it happens.
The breaking of Xbox 360 controllers were always by twisting them in half. That was see that
you and your farm boy strength, which is the nice way of saying it. The fact that you can twist an Xbox controller and that you've done it multiple times.
I can't. I mean, everyone experiences rage. I can't speak to your particular rage, Jim, but I don't know what else to do except I need to try to break something to release it. Like, there's no just a yell doesn't get it done for me.
Brian is a gamer, is the grapes of wrath.
So yeah, like there's been times that's happened. Not proud of them, but you know, sometimes you got to twist a controller in half.
Yeah, by the time I was like when I was really heavy into 360 and like Xbox One, like I was around more padded floors and like just throwing it off my bed and shit like that if that came to it. So
yeah, see, I've never ever been a thrower like you or buddy Chris.
I'm a thrower. I'm a thrower.
Oh, a lot of my exes, you guys are all throwers of shit. I'll still never forget my one ex who threw her Razor phone and it got stuck in the wall. Do you remember the Razors? How skinny they were?
Oh, I remember the Razors.
Yeah. But I've never been a thrower. See, I'm a grab, break, or punch throw. Like I'm not I don't know. Throwing shit just doesn't give that same pop.
Well, Brian. Some of us don't have the inherent rage-based strength of certain deficiencies to enable us to do these things. So,
I mean we all get our curses, right, Jim?
Yep, this is true. We all crossed to bear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, every single like. Fuck, I think the newest Call of Duty I've played like 3 times total, and like I'll still pay $60 to have my weekend to play like with the guys who are left who still do it for release.
Jim, it's a shame you don't play more.
Yeah, well, okay. But yeah, like even every year without fail, at least once a night, like the wife will come down and go, "Shut the fuck up! It's 3 a.m. I can hear you through the vents."
Other than Call of Duty doing that to you, what's the latest modern game that's done that to you?
I don't know, because like at this point, if like a single player game pisses me off enough, and unless I'm like really trying to beat it for like a review for the page, I'll just play something else. I mean, like, I guess in general, the last game that probably made me that mad was like Hotel Mario when I was trying to finish that for our review.
Yeah,
because that fucking god, that was painful.
What about Sub-Zero?
No, even that wasn't as bad.
That was okay.
No, Hotel Mario was way more frustrating than Sub-Zero.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Single player games never had me at the rage level the way multiplayer. It's something about playing against a person and knowing the bullshit that puts me over the edge.
Oh, you know what was close too, and like I don't know if Hotel Mario was playing it or there was this Yu-Gi-Oh game on mobile phones that came out. And it was like a dumbed down version of it, but like basically you could, build your decks and play against other people online and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'd be playing against people online, and sometimes I'd be hitting a losing streak so bad, like I'd almost pull a Brian and just fucking want to just rip my iPhone in half. And I was like, before I break $1,000 phone, I should probably just delete this app. And that's what I actually had to wind up doing, because it was getting close. Like nothing would have made me feel better than just bashing it against a fucking countertop.
Yeah, the Dead by Daylight, I say, that's a game that I absolutely... It's both my favorite and most hated game ever. Like, I love the concept. I love it when it's working well, but my God, the tactics, the stuff, like, it's so infuriating. And especially if you're playing Survivor. You know me, Jim. I can, to a degree, take getting beaten by another person. What I can't take are teammates that don't do shit.
That is your heel.
Ooh,
that is your Achilles.
That's like number one. Pissed me off right away. So
get the fuck on
B! Do something! Why are you watching me? What? Now I can get on B safely. You son of a bitch.
What, Brian? Gods and clods. Some people are just heroes. What can I say?
I got you on B. I got Chris trying to shoot UAVs. What the fuck am I doing?
Fucking Chris trying to be a sniper while you're on B.
God damn it.
No, dude, if I kill them before they get to you, then they won't kill you. You're not a good enough sniper!
Oh, I love that question, though. Yeah, rage and gaming. But you know what? I also believe the same way you can make the argument, it's just a game. Why do you get upset? If you don't care enough about losing so bad, then I'm sorry, you're probably not playing the game right. Like, if you are go into a type of game like that and are 100% indifferent, then what the fuck are you doing?
Ah, Chideo, you got me.
Yeah. Oh, this is fun. I just keep dying.
Bully!
Great question, though.
Yep, no, and that wraps up the Patreon questions for this week. So thank you, everyone. Great questions as always. Once again, patreon.com/drinkabeerplayaGame. $2 a month, you can ask a question every episode. $5 a month, you can get a game request in along with everything else. And $10 a month, you can use us as your billboard. So definitely check out the Patreon, see the review, all the tiers there, and yeah, go nuts. And also, please, if you enjoy this podcast, go to iTunes and leave a review. It definitely helps, apparently. I don't know if it actually has, but they say it does. So you do that.
Yeah. All right, Chambers, so how did that first beer treat you?
A perfectly fine, serviceable IPA. Does not do anything to reinvent the wheel, but you know what? It's tasty, it's solid, it's not overly hoppy, but it's not like under hoppy. Like if you just want very straightforward with 8.5% alcohol, it's a good one to go for.
Nice. So what are you moving on to now?
I am moving on to from the Common Space Brewing Company, the Chubby Unicorn. It's 8% alcohol, and it is a guava milkshake India Pale Ale. Flavors: pink guava puree, pure vanilla extract, hops, mosaic, Huguenot. I don't know what that word is.
Words is.
Equinaut probably. Simcoe and Cascade. Grist, lactose, raw pale, white wheat malt, yeast, BSI Barbarian Ale, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
So, once a unicorn reaches peak plumpness from months of gorging on pink guavas, it begins to ooze a delicious magical liquid from its beer glands. Gross. At Common Space, we harvest this rare unicorn liquid at the highest level of freshness and package it especially for all you hazeheads. Enjoy your magical unicorn liquid.
Jim, is that brewery that was founded by Chris Chan?
You know what? It looks like it was founded by a fucking guy who graduated from CalArts, because that's what the goddamn... everything has to look like fucking CalArts shit these days. Even the goddamn... It's infested the beer labels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
So...
that's an interesting sounding beer. And by the way, what is the obsession with everything unicorns now? Like, there's a few unicorns. There's Unicorn Farts. There's Unicorn something else. There's that Chicago brewery. Then there's
that's actually fucking tasty. Holy shit.
You would say that.
Now I'm surprised. No, Brian, it's all the brewers with their pizza tattoos and their long beards and their short shorts taking down toxic masculinity by showing that they can be unicorn fans.
God damn it, Jim.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I want to tell you you're wrong. I just can't.
Look, Bri, heavy wears the crown, all right? My kid's getting into My Little Pony lately, so I'm seeing things, Bri. I'm seeing things that I want to see.
All right, well, for us non-unicorners, the Sly Fox Pikeland Pills, it's not as good as Prima Pills, if you've ever had that, but anyone that had the pills, like I said, this is a perfect beer if you want to stray away from macro and try, craft brew. But then Sly Fox, their second beer is their Hell's Golden Lager, which is the Bavarian
Classic.
Yep. So, yeah, it's a different can design. They
changed the can. Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting effort into it. I like the coloring a lot.
I think we're doing a turnaround with the beer labels lately.
I hope so. Yeah.
I think the minimalism phase is going away.
So, but this one is another 4.9%. It looks very much like the pills, and you know what? It's not a bad thing. I specifically picked up a variety pack because I wanted a beer that tastes like beer instead of just the shelves of IPAs and sours. And so far, I'm pretty happy with these. All right, Chambers. Speaking of beers, this one was sent to us from our buddy Snarkcast, also known as Todd.
Don't dox him.
Damn it. From Best Life Online, I hate the name. This is the worst cheap beer in America, customers say in a new survey. Now, let's be clear. The survey was 637 beer drinkers, which I would hope you'd fucking get beer drinkers. I don't know why they had to say beer drinkers. Like, no, it's going to be fucking wine drinkers who did this. Like, of course it's beer drinkers.
But like 637, like, what did you just like sit outside of one brewery during the course of a day?
I also
That's
wish
like
they
nothing.
went into, like, were these craft beer drinkers or like I'd rather hear it from people.
Were you outside of a dive bar? Were you outside of
Yeah.
like a craft place, like you said?
Are you in downtown Seattle or are you in Idaho? I want to know where you got the info. But regardless, not a shocker for most people. They're going to be all macro beers. But coming in at number 6, we got Budweiser, which worst cheap beer. I don't think that should ever be on the list.
Yeah, like Budweiser's fine. Like there was a good when one of my old bands, like basically every time we had practice, we would kill off an entire case of Budweiser. Like it's a solid American beer, you know, like it's Bud.
And how they ranked it, I should say, based on
11.5% of people who they talked to said that was the worst.
They said they wouldn't drink it if they were offered it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So okay, so you got like that's 70 some people, close to 80 maybe that wouldn't do it. Number 5,
like 10%. Yeah, 60 something, barely 70. Yeah.
So number 5 we have Ice House.
Never heard of that.
I was gonna say, what the fuck is Ice House? In the write-up, they've said Ice House may be America's first domestic ice beer. Didn't know that.
New to me.
I want to find it. I want to drink it.
But 5.5% alcohol seems a little low for an ice version of beer.
Yeah, it's very, very low. And what's weird is the percentage of people who would say no was 11.3, which is less than Bud. So I don't know how they did this list.
Yeah.
That numbering right there already, I question it. Because the next one would go the way you would think is Busch. Just straight Busch. 11.
I don't think I've ever had straight Busch. Or maybe I've had out of a keg at like a frat party and just didn't even know what I was drinking. I was like, oh, it's beer.
You know, that's a good point. I know I've had Busch Light. I don't know.
Busch Latte.
I don't know if I... Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like I have, but then again, it's... it is what it is. 11.93% said that. Number 3, Keystone. Now, here's the deal.
There's a fucking jump right there.
So
17.27%.
All the others were in the 11s. You know, here's the number one disrespect, I think. They didn't even use the blue can in their picture. They used the red can.
I don't think I've ever seen, like, regular Keystone. Like, Keystone Light's what you're going to see, at least in our area. Yeah. I've never seen red can Keystone, like straight Keystone, whatever it is.
Which is why I'm like, did they mean to say light? Because how many people drink straight Keystone? I don't know. But apparently, if it's anything like... I love the description. One of the reviewers said, most beers are skunky as a result of being left too warm for too long. This one is skunky from being brewed with fresh skunk. Ha, ha, ha. Jim, does it need more dog?
Needs more dog. Look, I say it myself. What do you call it? Keystone just tastes like the end of a vat of Coors Light.
Yeah.
Which, hey, 36 cans for 17, 18 bucks.
All right, number 2, Natural Ice. Yes, this is...
Natty Ice is rough. Natty Ice is fucking rough.
It is very, very... Which is funny because it's one of the strongest ones on here.
Yes, it is.
But it is... Whew,
it's weird how like stringent it is for 5.9%, like which isn't even that high.
Yeah. But no, this one was at 23.39%. So once again, another jump up. People that don't want it. I could agree with that. And then number 1, Milwaukee's Best.
My poor dad would be
Jim, you wouldn't be here without this beer.
He'd be raging at the bullshit. No, he was a Miller. Oh, God,
I thought you said it was Beast.
No, I mean Milwaukee's Best is Beast.
But no. Yeah, but that's what he said to you. Or at least that's the story you told us.
Oh no, he just said if it wasn't for beer, if it wasn't for Mad Promotion, I wouldn't be here. And knowing my dad the way I know my dad, I'm sure he was drunk when it happened. So, but no, I don't know if he was drinking Beast back then. I think he was still like, I think it was hard still into the Miller High Life. That was his main thing for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Before he had to cut down on the calories and went to Beast Light.
So, Jim and I did a fun video we really enjoyed a while ago. It was blind beer testing with semi-surprising results. Like,
yeah, we did Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light.
Yeah. And I think Bud Light won it all, right?
I do believe so, yeah.
And there was, because we were like, is there really going to be a taste difference? And there really was. Like that.
Yeah, you take the visuals out of it. So, Bri, you're saying we're going to have to do it with, say, Beast Light, Natty Light, and Keystone Light?
Well, I'm saying it might not need to be blind, but we might be kicking
No, I think
around...
you need to take the visual element out of it. You need to take your preconceived notions out. I think that was a big part of it.
I mean, I guess we could, but I want to do it with a lot of beers. Because we want to rank the legit worst beers. So all these, we really want to sit down and test. And I did see at my local beer shop, they had a kit. There wasn't anything there, but they had hams. And they had another one that was...
Genesee?
Well, of course, Genesee. But there was another one... Fuck, I can't remember, but I said, oh my god, if I see a case there, I'm going to get it next time. So,
yeah. Wow, they had fucking hams?
They had it. They had the little number for it. It was cheap beer.
When we drink it, do we have to go, hey, how are you?
Yeah,
how are you?
Exactly. So, Jim, I mean, from this list, I know the Keystone may break your heart, but for cheap beers, is there something you think should have been in there or should have replaced one of these?
That's a good question.
See, here's the deal. I have a big problem with the ice one because for us, as much weird beer we've had, like, I feel like that's not popular enough to say that should be in there.
Yeah, like, I really doubt enough. You know what it is? I think a lot of this probably just came down to, like, if you're just asking people what you want to drink, it's not like they're sitting down doing a taste test. So it's all just off, like, reputation and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, like... I'm surprised Natty Light wasn't on there and that Natty Ice was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That none of the light beers were on there. And I feel like that's... More people have problem with Bud Light than probably Bud. Because not enough people drink just Bud.
I think Bud, out of the big three, like Miller, like, say, Miller Genuine Draft or Coors, like, you know, fucking Banquet Beer or Bud. Like, Bud's the one you're probably going to drink the most out of, just like their straight beer.
Yeah.
And not their light. So... I can see Bud being on there as the pick, but it's a little weird.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of people just thinking back to college and be like, oh no, I wouldn't touch that again.
See, I would almost throw like Corona in there. But it's not cheap enough beer.
See, you know what? One, it's not cheap enough, and two, I think because it's slightly international-ish in people's minds.
Yeah.
That people would still put it there. Like, Corona tastes like dog shit. Like, you know what else sucks? Fucking Heineken.
Oh, dude,
like, Heineken fucking sucks. But, like, people who only drink, like, Bud Light, like, pretend like Heineken's their fancy beer to drink. But they don't want to, like, dip into, like, the real craft stage.
Yeah.
Which I get, which is fine. But my Heineken tastes like dog shit, so...
Heineken, you talk about skunked beers. I still don't know why every Heineken I've had has been skunked. Now, granted, I think we were talking
There's no reason, like, a 5% beer should give you a headache after 3 beers. And it happens every fucking time.
Yeah. But as a kid, Heineken was thought of as the fancy beer.
Yeah, it was. We didn't have more options back then.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, interesting list, but we want to hear what you guys think. We will put those tastes to the test in a future video.
Yep, I think it needs to be done.
All right, Chambers. So next one.
Bit of a follow-up-ish.
Yeah. So from NicheGamer.com, the Diablo...
And this was actually everywhere, but let's put some traffic to, like, Niche Gamer. Like, fuck Kotaku and Polygon.
Yeah. Diablo 4 and game director, lead designer, and World of Warcraft designer are no longer working at Blizzard. And those gentlemen are Louis Baraja, I don't know, Jesse McCree, and Jonathan LeCraft were all let go on August 11th. And apparently they didn't get into specifics, but they said those familiar with the conditions, these guys were described as super toxic.
Yeah, apparently, what do you call it? Barriga, however you say his name, was really toxic. McCree was in that Cosby Suite picture that was going around, which I'm still on defense if that was overblown or just...
Can I also ask a question about that, Jim?
Yeah.
All right, so
in hindsight, not a good look.
No, in hindsight, it's definitely a terrible look. But when I look at it, it's a group of dudes with the Cosby picture, and then, like, if I look through the pictures in this article, then there's, like, a picture of a bar with, like, a bunch of alcohol and mixers, and then, like, basically, I guess, a group chat named BlizzCon Cosby Crew. Here's the
talking
deal.
about, like, going out and, like, you know, what, yeah, yeah, we didn't talk about it when it first dropped. I think we had a guest or something like that.
Yeah.
But, like, and, like, it turns out, like, all the girls they were talking about, for the most part, allegedly, by the people there, were like, oh, we're just talking about our wives and, like, joking around. Which, okay, maybe. But even if you weren't, like, when we were fucking in our early 20s and before we all met our wives and, like, we'd all have, like, guy weekends down to shore, like... It's guy talk. Like, it's dumb, but you just go, how many girls are we doing this weekend? Oh, all of them? Right. Like, shit like that. Like, I saw that text, and I was just like, I can't pretend to be mad about it because it's dumb shit we said in the past, too, in our younger days. And you give nerds a shitload of money, and you throw them in a situation like that, then it's like...
Also, like, you gotta realize, like, those guys probably didn't pull anything. But on top of that, my thing was... it was the perfect storm with Blizzard and everything that was going on, but also the timetable. But if you look at this chat, if I'm seeing the date correctly, it's 2013. The allegations for Cosby didn't come out, so I don't even necessarily think they had the Cosby.
Here, see, people are doing a lot of revisionist history. Like, there were allegations that came out in like 2008 or something that he settled out of court with, but. That's, like, I think that's the thing that people are going, oh, see, he really, like, everyone knew about it back then. Like, people in entertainment knew about it. So, like, when Hannibal Buress, like, mentioned it in 2014 in
that's
a
what I mean, yeah.
It really blew up. Like, it hit the public lexicon in 2014 when Hannibal Buress had that stand-up.
That's what I was going to say.
And everyone went, what? So, yeah, like, I think, like, for all we know, people on the inside could have known. Maybe people at Activision knew.
But and that's the deal.
Maybe a bunch of them are scumbags. They very well could be. I'm not excusing them at all or saying, like, you know, oh, they weren't being scumbags. They fucking could have been. But just looking at it on face value with the text messages, I'm just like, it's stupid guy talk when you're going out on a weekend with the buddies.
And that goes back to what I've said before, which always bothers me. With anytime there's cases against people or shit being thrown around, stick to the actual bad shit. Don't throw everything at the wall. Because then the arguments start to weaken. And, like, yeah, a group of shithead dudes getting drunk, trying to pick up chicks, doing this, that's not equivalent to the actual stuff that was going on. Like, don't equate those as if they're equal. You know, like, I don't know. I just say it's good they're out of there. But I saw that and I just wondered. I said, the timetable of Cosby, so I don't know. All of it's weird. But I think that should be a good sign. Is it enough to get people happy? I don't know.
I mean, like, the article at this point is a couple weeks old, and, you know, for all these people leaving, everyone went, oh, that's not a good sign. So, like, I think it's definitely a lot of clearing house for a lot of the,
sure.
For the eventual lawsuits and the lawsuits that are already coming. So, I'm sure if, like, they were, you know, stuff like this, and, like, you know, they let them go instead of them just leaving the thing, or maybe they politely suggested, quote unquote, that they leave,
sure.
Then, you know, there's probably, if there's smoke, there's fire, as we always like to say. So,
this is one of those stories that in a year probably no one's really going to follow. And here's my question. Do you think these guys as leaders in video game industry, do you think a like a lower level game developer, if these guys are good at their job, do you think they're just going to get picked up again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same way I've said before that, like, you know, people can him and haw all they want, but the normies aren't going to care.
Yeah.
And, like, you dangle Diablo 2 Remastered in front of people, it's going to fucking sell. So, like, you know, that's just the reality of shit. So, but I'm sure there's always going to be someone out there who takes a chance on someone. Now, it could be a thing, like, going back to wrestling. Patrick, I forget his fucking last name. His gimmick was the Velveteen Dream. So he had a controversy where he was apparently sending dick pics to, like, underage kids.
Oh.
So, yes, fucking horrific.
I did not know it. I don't even know who it is. I just saw the name, heard the name, and laughed.
Yeah, and it sucks, too, because he was one of the best gimmicks NXT had going. But, you know, real life comes into play. So, weirdly enough, like, WWE was, like, not protecting him, but they didn't, like, immediately cut ties. They're like, we're going to do an internal investigation, all that kind of shit. So, I guess nothing fully came from it, but they did eventually just release him, like, a couple months ago. And now, anytime that, like, a little indie... Like, there's always some indie company that goes, hey, this guy kind of has a name, we're going to book him for a show. The second they do it, they just get flooded with hate to where they go, oops, our bad, you know, he's off the show.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, there's things that are just going to follow you. And, like, this could be a thing that follows these guys for the rest of their career, too. Where, like, they can't do anything unless they get to the smallest and most, like, out there of projects or something. So, it's a weird thing. Or, like, you know, do you admit that they're on the team, or you just bring them on and, like, use their expertise and, you know, don't tell anyone. That kind of deal. So, it's going to be weird. It's going to be interesting to follow going forward.
Jim, it's Operation Paperclip all over again.
I don't follow.
Oh, you don't know about that?
No, what's that?
That is the thing from after World War II where America, Britain, and Russia split up the Nazi scientists and took them into their homeland to develop rockets.
Oh, that's what that was called. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that was the official title.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, that was the code name, Paperclip. Operation Paperclip.
Ah, no shit.
See, you learn something every day, Jim. No, but Blizzard, good, like, you got to clear house, I think, to a pretty high degree.
And I mean, let's go to brass tacks too. They're not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing a lot of damage control right now.
Yeah. The only thing I would like to follow up on, and I guess we might have to hold it for 2 weeks. I want to see, has their stock or has their, like, whatever plummeted, you know? Like, has it actually taken a hit? Or is it going to be, like, they stay quiet, and then at the release of whatever their next big title is going to be, will it be all is forgiven?
Do they pull a Channel Awesome and just not fucking address it at all and just pretend like it never happened, and then people forget in 6 months?
Yeah.
Stop caring.
So no, I think it is good news. I think somebody has to pay, and
yeah, I mean, no, there's always gonna be scapegoats, and like you want to, like, people want Bobby Kotick, like that's what they really want, but like you're not gonna get Bobby Kotick. So, like, you know, I'm not saying take what you can get. Obviously, keep the uproar up if you're really passionate about it, but it's a step in the right direction.
But like Jim and I have said, and I say it against Nintendo all the time, if you truly feel this way, do not buy any more Blizzard products. Like,
yeah,
that's the number one way to say F you. And if you get enough people to agree not to do that, that's the only way you show. Yeah, one person not buying, you won't be missed at all. You get enough people, all these people that are like doing walkouts and this and that, truly show and don't buy their products anymore.
Yep.
There you go. I don't know what else to say.
Felt with the wallet.
Yep. All right. So, Jim, we foreshadowed this earlier.
Yeah.
And I actually foreshadowed it without doing it on purpose. But I linked from Bloomberg.com, but I heard it on a podcast, and it just it sparked something in me. And then kind of also our buddy Max Marvel sent it to us as well. But so Netflix is getting into game streaming. And I heard about this because the game I played, Dead by Daylight, they're losing the license to use Stranger Things. And I said for a horror game, the fact that they have Michael Myers, Freddy, Leatherface, the Demogorgon and characters from Stranger Things, they're getting Pinhead and Hellraiser. They're like actually able to get license and franchise people better than any game I've seen. Like, unless you
compare, it is impressive. Like, they seem to get like everything.
Yeah, and unless you compare it to Fortnite or Call of Duty, who get licensed characters, like they're not at that level. But the fact that they get that, awesome. So it's every horror fan's dream. So then Dead by Daylight team basically made an announcement and said, "Hey, we're cutting down the cost of our Dead by Daylight DLC. If you buy it now before whatever September 8th, you can still get it and play with it. But after that, you'll no longer be able to buy it. So if you have it, you're fine." But that led to a lot of speculations. Like, well, why would they let the lights? Like, what happened? Then this news of Netflix coming out with their own gaming thing. And as we know, Stranger Things is a Netflix show. It got me thinking they could be developing their own games, and that's what a lot of people are speculating. But if that were truly the case, if you think of all the things that Netflix has, because now they have Witcher, they have Resident Evil, they have Castlevania. Like, if they are the juggernaut of movies like they are, and they convert that, is that going to be true competition? Like, could this be the answer we were talking about earlier? Like, all of a sudden you do, if you can pull enough people for these franchises and get enough good game developers behind it, you already got the licenses for movies. I don't know if they transfer over directly to games. Like, I doubt you're going to make your own Witcher game, but if you did a spin-off Witcher game or something like that, and same for Castlevania, could that be a real threat to anything?
See, I should have linked it in here too, like the article Max sent us, because I think they're starting out just like more mobile-ish titles, like nothing that's really going to be like pushing the servers and shit like that. I would almost expect out of the gate something like say you go to like a Ruby Tuesdays and like you get that like tablet in front of you for ordering food, and they have those like little, those cheapo games on there to keep the kids busy, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked if you have stuff like that on there. It's just like, oh, okay, we can do this now. But, I mean, if that's successful enough, I mean, Netflix has the install base.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Like, you talk like a fucking Stadia that, like, never got off the ground because, no one wanted to put the money out for it and pay, more money and shit like that for the actual games. You do a soft launch, like, if Netflix does a soft launch and they just, they have however many, dozens of millions of users already, like, it's a chance. Like, there's an audience there. And you get, like, a little shit dick indie game on there, and like you could make a hit out of it out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was thinking. Like, the only thing you'd have to try
make
to
it so
out,
make it so you can map any Bluetooth controller or something.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, maybe
the control's gonna be the tough part.
So that you think of Netflix, and I think like that's the one thing when you buy every new TV. Most remotes now have a Netflix button on them. Like, that is such ingrained in TVs. And especially smart TVs. Yeah, maybe what is Netflix now a month? $16, 12, whatever it is.
I think it's close to 20.
So let's just say it adds another $5 and now you get Netflix gaming too. And with that price, maybe they'll send you a free Bluetooth controller as your like add-on. Like, to me, that's almost a no-brainer. Like you said, you click the same app and now you just have movies, games. Like, dude, it's all taken care of. And yeah, you start